generated over $7.8 billion in 1,067 different niches, all thanks to one video, a video sales letter. Here is my 5-step process on how to create a VSL that doubles your sales. Starting with the first step, the halo strategy. The game is won in the research. Bury yourself in the research. The rest of your video sales letter will almost write itself. So the place that we start is what I call forum foraging, and it's going to the biggest forums in your niche. Pro tip is you can add a Chrome extension called Discussions, and it will give you a tab on Google that basically only shows you forum results. Reddit is a great place to start. You want to basically be taking all of these topics and you want to be looking for the pains and fears and hopes and dreams of your marketplace. After we look at Reddit, we want to look at Amazon reviews for products or books that are sold in your niche. And then you can read the 1-star reviews, the 5-star reviews, and the 3-star reviews. Then what you want to do is go to Google My Business and you want to look at your 5 biggest competitors and you want to read all of their reviews. What do people like? What did people hate? What do people wish that there was? Now, once you do this exercise, you should have an entire document that is direct verbatim comments from your market. When it does come time to write your VSL and come up with hooks and all this stuff, you have a treasure chest, which brings us to step number 2. Test your hooks with what we call static ads. What you want to make sure that you're doing is that you are writing a VSL with a proven hook. And the way that we do that is by testing what to say and not how to say it. When I look at most people's ad accounts, the biggest issue that I see is that they are just simply saying the same thing in different ways. But the way that you test hooks is to say 5 completely different things. And then you figure out what the right thing is to say. And then you can start to play around with different ways to say the right thing to get a better outcome. You can ask yourself questions like, what is the number one thing that my market wants? I want you to focus on what is the thing that they would crawl across crushed glass to get. If you start with that, the big benefit, that in itself is the best place to start with the hook. The second thing to think about is what is keeping them up at night. That is also a negative angle that you can try. What is a weird and unique way that you can solve this problem that is different to how everybody else in the market is talking about it? Another simple hook is thinking about how will my product make them actually feel? Not what does it do, what is the end desired state? How will it actually make them feel? And then some other ones I got on my list is how will their life improve after taking action? What annoys them most about my industry? How can you throw stones at those things? And if your market is very jaded, then that becomes a very good angle to kind of split and divide the market. What will cynics and skeptics say when they see this? What will the critics say? That in itself is a great angle. And lastly, what are my competitors simply unwilling to do? Pick 5 of those for your market and then test them on static ads. Each ad must have the one hook, the one idea, from the lead-in copy to the creative to the headline and the body copy. I want it wrapped all around that one angle, which brings us to step number 3. Now what we want to do is we want to take the winning hook from running our static ads and we want to record selfie hooks or use AI to basically test these in a video format. Selfie hooks, what is that? It's basically you pull out your phone, you have your hook, you literally walk around and record it somewhere. You basically have a mini little VSL hook where you have a hook and then you put your call to action at the end of that. Now, let's just say that you don't want to be the face of your business and you don't have anybody else to film it. Then what you can do is you can use AI to test these video hooks. And the 2 platforms that I like to use to do so is first ArcAds. So ArcAds just allows you to basically go in and get an AI UGC creator where you give it a script and it will simply generate the ad for you. And the other one is Higgsfield AI. It's the same concept here. You can even upload an image of an individual on Higgsfield AI and then you can create a UGC video ad as a result from that. Which brings us to step number 4, a dirty VSL. What I recommend doing to begin with, instead of doing a full-blown production like you see in some of my VSLs where there's a video crew and whatnot, they take a lot of time, 1, to shoot and then 2, to edit. I do not want to place risk on something that is not proven. So with your first VSL, I recommend recording a dirty VSL. In either Keynote or PowerPoint, you can basically put your script in there and then put the rest of the script in the presenter notes, click record, and away you go. A distinction to make is you need to have good good quality audio. There are a whole bunch of stats out there that prove that people will sit through videos that are poor quality, but they won't sit through videos that have poor quality audio. The second option is to do a Loom VSL, where you basically have your VSL written in a Google Doc and you download an app called Loom that basically brings up your webcam, it's recording your screen, and away you go. So I personally would opt for this because someone can see you, right? When there's that human connection, that eye-to-eye contact, it builds a lot more trust than not having somebody's face on screen. A video sales letter is so potent and powerful, and the only way that you get it to be powerful is literally by scripting every single word. Like, there can't be any wasted space on this thing. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, what do I actually put in the VSL? Well, let's discuss that, which brings us to my $1 billion copywriting formula, NEWEIF. New, unique, exciting, easy, predictable, and huge. Let's knock these down one at a time. First of all, your offer that you're presenting in your VSL must come across as being new. New basically gets people to sit up in their chair and pay attention. You don't pay attention to things that aren't new or novel to you, so things that you've seen hundreds of times before. You need to think about what is a new angle, what is something that's happening in the economy or in the news that I can tap into that presents my offer as a new opportunity. Because unless it's new, people will just tune out. It allows you to address the skeptics on things that they've seen in the past that haven't worked. So by any means necessary, you need to present your offer as being new. Next up is unique. Categorization is the death of the sale. The moment the prospect can look at what it is that you've got and they can categorize you into, oh yeah, that's just like this, you're done. It doesn't matter how good the rest of your video sales letter is someone feels like this is something that they've seen and they can categorize it as something that they've already tried in the past. Having something unique by itself alone can be enough to literally take over a market. If everybody is zigging and then you are zagging, immediately you stand out as a better logical solution, because when the prospect's looking at all of the options in the marketplace, they can't understand how all these businesses are different. On the surface, they all look the same. Unique is not like, oh, that's a nice to have. It is an absolute must have. This is the thing that moves the absolute most amount of freight in your sales message. Next up is excitement. So value alone doesn't get people to buy. It must be exciting. They need to feel their heart pumping as they're watching your VSL. They need to feel excited about how you're presenting it, how it's new, how it's unique. They must be like, oh, like this looks incredible. They lock in and they start to pay attention because they feel excited by this opportunity. Because boring copy can kill the best offers. If it doesn't excite them, it's gonna feel like effort for them and it's gonna feel like work for them to continue to watch your video. And consumption precedes conversion. The only way to get somebody to convert is to actually get them to consume it. Then we have easy. Your offer must feel like it is easy for your prospect to attain the big benefit that it is that they want. What people want is push a button and get the results. Everyone wants to be rich. They do not want to get rich. They want easy fixes. They want six-pack abs without ever doing a sit-up. They want to lose weight while they sleep. That's what it is that they want. They don't want work. So we must present our offer in a way that feels like it is very easy for our prospects to get that outcome. So you need to make it step by step, which brings us to the next point, which is predictable. Not only can it be easy, it must be predictable. So whatever it is that you're promising, you must be able to show a whole parade of proof of hundreds, if not thousands of people that you've gotten this result for. People of all different ages, genders, ethnicities, in different niches. It must feel like it is incredibly predictable, i.e. if I buy, I get this outcome. And if it doesn't feel like that, then people don't buy. Because in every transaction, there is risk present. And if you make it predictable, then that lowers the risk in the prospect's mind. And the risk that they've got associated with where maybe I do buy and I don't get this result, that is removed. And therefore the value goes up. And a transaction takes place where value exceeds price. Which brings us to the last point, which is huge. Your offer needs to feel like this is a huge opportunity. You need to talk about how you're in a consulting market that's worth over $350 billion. Or if you're a videographer, you can talk about how video consumption is going to be 80% of what people do on the internet and how this is completely exploding. And you can ride this huge wave of opportunity, or it might be in the property market that there's something going on with the economy. Whatever it is, it needs to feel like a huge opportunity. And there are always angles in any given market to make it feel huge. The biggest key to doing this is to zooming out in a helicopter and looking at the bigger, wider industry that you're a part of. Because small opportunities get ignored. If it's something really small and it's not huge, then why do I want to pay attention to it? Why do I want to risk my time, energy, or money in looking into this if there's not going to be huge upside? Another framework that I like to use is the story selling framework, and it has 8 steps. Let me run you through them. So the first one is attention. You need to use a pattern interrupt here, something that is going to disrupt the pattern of your prospect and force them to pay attention. It might be an unusual way that you solve this problem. It might be empathizing with the absolute worst case scenario, like I was 60 kgs overweight. You need to do it in a unique way so that you actually disrupt their pattern. The second point is identity, who you are. You need to speak about exactly your journey, where you started, all the things that you tried to get to the outcome, so that the prospect can look at you and they can go, hey, they're just like me. The third point is the struggle. Empathize with them about all the struggles, all the products that they've tried, how long they've been in this position, and what it actually feels like, right, emotionally to be where they are right now. The fourth step is discovery. So after you've outlined all the things that you've tried that didn't get you the outcome, or maybe partially got you the outcome, you need to talk about the discovery of how is it that you discovered to get this outcome? What are all the things that you had to go through? I tried XYZ, I tried paleo, I tried keto, I tried intermittent fasting, and I still wasn't able to lose weight because I found that all of these things didn't address the root cause, which were my hormones. You need to outline exactly in vivid details how you were led to making this discovery. The fifth point is value. So then it's not enough to just say this is all the thing. Then you need to educate them on the value around that, right? All the solutions that they've tried in the past, why specifically they didn't work, and then how your solution addresses those problems. And you can't just say that it addresses them. You need to educate and provide value of exactly how it does it so that they believe it. The sixth point is a hero mechanism. Once you've outlined exactly all the problems and then how you address it, then you need to give your hero mechanism a name, a unique formula, a 5-step process. You need to wrap it up so in itself, it feels unique and different to everything else. So they're like, oh, that just sounds amazing. Let me just go and get there somewhere else. And supplement companies do this the most. If they were just to tell you, hey, this has turmeric in it, then everyone would just go and they'll just buy the cheapest turmeric. Instead, what do? They put a proprietary blend and a formula, and then they name that. So the only way that you can get those benefits is by buying their supplements. And that's exactly what we want to do with the stuff that we're selling. The seventh point is we want to talk about the results. We want to talk about what happened once we made this discovery and we formulated this system, not only for us and our own journey, but then for other people. What are the results of the offer? And then lastly, action. We want to prompt them into actually taking action right now. We don't want to ask them to take action. We want to tell them to take action. And we want to break down all the steps that go into that. Most people think that you can just say, hey, click this link and do the thing. No, you have to walk them through in vivid detail what you want them to do. I want you to click on this link. So once you go to this link, you're going to be taken through to a schedule page where you can book a phone call in. This is everything that's going to happen on this phone call. Then basically I want you to show up on time and be committed, because I only want to work with people that are really committed. Otherwise you won't get these outcomes. So right, you need to actually walk them through the call to action and tell them in explicit detail exactly what it is that you want them to do. And this brings us to the fifth and final step. Now it is time to record a full-blown VSL that will 2 to 3x your sales. And the first step of that is spokespersons. Who is the person that is going to be behind the camera delivering your video sales letter? If you don't want it to be you, what it should be is the avatar that it is that you're targeting. So if you're targeting 35 to 40-year-old females, mothers of 2, then that's exactly who you should cast to actually be the spokesperson of your ad. The best people to find is a customer who you've gotten the best results for, but a spokesperson dramatically impacts the conversion rate of your video sales letter. Once you've identified who the spokesperson is going to be, then we come down to the actual scripting process. This is the checklist that I like to use. Keep your sentences short, 5 to 10 words. It's digestible, you move through the message quickly. 1 thought per line. Write like you talk. It needs to be conversational because that's how you're gonna feel relatable. Use as many stories as you possibly can. Stories, people can't argue with them. When you illustrate a story, it captivates someone so much more than just spewing words to them. The questions that your prospects have, you need to answer them in the VSL. Objections, you gotta handle them before they even come up on the sales call. You need to state a damaging omission. Nobody's product or service is perfect. That builds more trust with your audience because you're not just painting this to be this miracle solution that has absolutely no drawbacks. So don't be afraid of putting those damaging omissions in. Use one simple call to action. A VSL is one idea with one single call to action. We're not trying to divide people up. There's only one thing that you can do after watching this video sales letter. You've got to have urgency. By the end of your VSL, there has to be urgency tied to it. If people don't need to act right now, they'll leave it to someday, and someday never comes. Then what you want to do is dimensionalize their pain. You want to take their pain and really make it feel real. Don't just say that you're overweight. Describe muffin top. Talk about how they can squeeze into their pants and they don't fit and they can't pull the zip up and how that makes them feel and they feel really bloated. You need to dimensionalize the pain so it really feels real. And now we come to launching our video sales letter. When it comes time to launching, ultimately what you want to be doing is throughout the scripting and writing process, you ideally want to have at least 3 hooks that you record. So it's the same body of the entire VSL. However, the hooks that you've tested in your static ads will take the 3 best ones and you record those in your VSL so that when you launch them, you can go out to the market and see which one is going to perform the best. And that is my entire 5-step process on how to write a VSL that doubles your sales. And if you enjoyed this video, you are going to absolutely love this one that I did on how to craft ads that go completely viral and take over the internet. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.